Good evening. Thank you for joining us for another virtual town hall. Today is Wednesday, May 12th. I feel it's been a while since, I feel like it's been a while since I've done the virtual town hall because I had to miss the last virtual town hall due to a family emergency and that required me traveling. But I'm back and at it. So I'll start with the updates and it's our tradition. We review the numbers and talk about the trends and what direction we're heading with the numbers, with the vaccine and the infections. I'm cognizant that these numbers, while I put significant importance to them and reiterate the importance of taking the precautionary measures. Our town hall tonight, it's coming at the heels of Governor DeWine making his announcement that in 3 weeks, the public health orders will be rescinded. So I think we're all gonna feel a certain way. I personally would like to have seen a higher vaccine number, a lower infection rate, but we are where we are and we gotta, those that can and able to, and obviously we all can and are able to do all the precautionary measures, right? They're not that difficult. Wear a mask, physical distancing, and regular hand washing and hand sanitization. So we all can do those things. Those are not hard things to do. But anyway, so let me review the numbers. As of today, we're at 1,087,182 cases. The 21-day trend, we've certainly been trending downwards, which is probably why the governor, or what influenced the governor's decision today. So the 21-day trend is downward. It's a downward trend. We're doing well in that, reducing those numbers. On the Greene County numbers, we are at 15,112 cases. Over the last 24 hours, 11 cases, confirmed cases were added. So county is doing well. On the number of the number of cases per every 100,000, that's the incidence rate. At the statewide, we're at 140 cases for every 100,000. Last week, we're at 155. So number is declining. Greene County, we were a bit of a top of the charts. We're back down. We're actually below the state average as of last week's reporting, which puts our number at 132 cases for every 100,000. Remember, the state average is 140, so we're doing a little better than the state in that regard. The other numbers that I've been tracking have been the immunization rate, the vaccine rates. The percentage of the population that has received at least one dose or has started their dose. As of today's reports, we are at 41%, 41.87%, so almost 42%. That's about 4.8 million people in the state. Number of vaccines completed, those are folks who've had their 2 vaccines or they had that one Johnson & Johnson. We're at 36.41%. That's about 4.2 million people. So I think 36 is the number we would like to see higher and to have that herd immunity. And I hope that by this June 2nd date where the public health order gets rescinded, we have made significant improvements to that vaccine rates. Mayor Pam is going to talk about upcoming vaccines dates, so I'll let her address those details. I have a few other updates related to the government operations and what we have going on. These are issues that have been of high importance to our community, and so I want to take this opportunity to provide you a brief update. The designated outdoor recreational area, the DORA. I know it's been a hot topic of discussion recently, and we are hosting a town hall just on this issue at our next town hall. So that will be May 26th. Please join us May 26th so that we can have a discussion on the DORA. We'll give you some background, and it'll be a great opportunity to have a dialogue about what is possible, what is not possible, and what are things that we may present as a proposal to council. The fish issue, we had a lot of dead fish at Ellis Pond. We investigated the matter. We did several water tests We tested for pH, the dissolved oxygen, a few other things. We've determined that the oxygen level is below the recommended level, and that might have been the cost of so many fish dying. So we're working to improve the situation. And I mentioned, I think in previous meetings, that we're looking into aeration systems for the pond. We'll move forward with the pond, and we're also exploring what other treatments we can do for the algae and other chemicals that are in the pond. Picnic tables, I hope you've seen the additional picnic tables that we put out. We put out picnic tables at Betty Hughes, the train station, and here at the John Bryant Center. So we're creating more amenities and opportunities for residents to enjoy our parks and be out and outdoors, enjoy a meal or a small gathering. Pool opening, that's May 29th. I hope you got your swimming trunks ready. Get your your pool passes. We are now selling the pool passes, so please visit our utility window, reach out to Sam Stewart for your passes. So I hope you would consider supporting the pool by buying a pass, or support families that need assistance accessing the pool through our Swim for All program. And you can make a donation to the Swim for All program via our utility window or by donating through the Community Foundation. Finally, we're scheduling another virtual town hall on a different topic, that is the Yellow Springs Broadband. We're going to have big news to announce in the coming week on the broadband and the pilot project. I'm sure you've heard me present on this topic before. We want to have a dedicated town hall on this topic, what you can expect, what we're thinking about. We're also are going to be rolling out a survey, and we'll share what's ahead on that project. And now I will yield the floor to my colleague, Chief Altman. Chief, where are you joining us from tonight?
Thank you very much, Josue. Miami Township Fire Chief Colin Altman coming to you live from Springfield, Illinois, at the tomb of President Abraham Lincoln. He is currently rolling in his grave following some activities today at the United States Capitol with the party that was allegedly the party of Lincoln. So I'm here today with Liz Cheney, Mitt Romney, Cindy McCain, and of course, noted Republican enthusiast, WYSO General Manager Luke Dennis. And we're working to help President Lincoln finish that rollover in his grave so that he can hopefully rest in peace. So, a couple things from me and the fire department by extension. Number one, it's International Nurses Day. So I would like to give a big shout out on behalf of myself and the entire fire rescue department to all the amazing nurses out there who do a heck of a job every day, but have really had a heck of a job in the last year. All my friends who work in emergency and trauma nursing, all my friends who are in public health, that's a lot of work you've been doing. And everyone else, you guys do a wonderful job. So thank you, nurses. Wonderful work, and keep it up, please, because otherwise we're in a lot of trouble. So thank you, nurses. Number two, it is National Police Week. And I want to give a big shout out again on behalf of myself and my fire department to our partners in law enforcement, the Yellow Springs Police Department, who are our good buddies and are there every day with us, backing us up, and our friends at the Sheriff's Department, and even the troopers, the OSP guys, they're pretty cool sometimes. And probably the chillest law enforcement you'll ever meet, the ODNR natural resource officers. They're pretty chill people. They should all live in Yellow Springs, frankly. But thank you guys. You do a wonderful job keeping us safe and watching our back, and we truly, truly appreciate it. So thank you to our friends in law enforcement. Josue mentioned the big surprise from the governor today. The governor did announce a bunch of things in his 5:30 presser, but the big one was that the health orders will be ending on June 6th. As Josue noted, the trend has been down for Ohio. We've been doing good, doing well. We haven't hit that magic number he wanted initially, but I think maybe he's starting to realize we may not get there soon. He's starting to realize that the legislature is going to turn on him and overturn his orders anyway if he doesn't do it now. And probably doesn't want to face some wingnut in a primary challenge next year. So anyway, it is what it is. Health orders will expire or be lifted, I guess, on June 6th. So what does this mean? It means now we're going to have a patchwork of things because there are lots of corporations that have already announced that their facilities, their stores, their restaurant chains, whatever, will still require masking. So that's something to keep in mind. So now you have to do a little research. But hopefully everyone watching tonight, all 18,000 of you watching us live, have gone out and got your vaccine. It's really simple. Greene County's got clinics. You can go to Young's on Saturday from noon to 4 p.m., get your shot or your jab, as they say in Britain, and then get some ice cream. It's free. Free shot and free ice cream. What more could you ask for? And Josue said, and Mayor Pam's going to talk about, there are some coming up here in our trustee village. You can always go down to the public health department where they're doing the clinics now, and then Meijer and Kroger and CVS. So, I mean, good God, people get the vaccine. There's no excuse. You can get it. That's the key. That's the most important thing to keeping you safe. I was talking with Rand Paul earlier today, and we were debating about the efficacy of masks and whether or not Mickey Mouse was actually a Democrat or a Republican. But it's important to remember that our number one tool to keep us safe is to get vaccinated if you can. Most of you can. So get vaccinated. If you want, continue wearing your mask as long as you feel comfortable. I suspect many people will, particularly in indoor events. And outdoor events, you know, there's a lot of debate right now. The CDC says, you know, outdoor accounts for less than 10% of transmissions of COVID, but there's a lot of research that says it's actually less than 1%. So just be careful outside. Don't kiss strangers without a mask on. Events are returning this summer. So, you know, keep that in mind when you feel the need to go out to a large event. We don't have a street fair in June, but there is the air show, which is a little bit different format this year, which is exciting. I think it's the Blue Angels are this year, or is it the Thundercats? But I'm not sure. Thunderbirds, not the Thundercats, sorry. Dayton is going to do their big fireworks thing on July 3rd, which is always fun. So there's a lot of events. Just use your common sense and be careful. There's a big event on September 11th at the University of Dayton Arena, the Gem City 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb. So just listen for more events, more information about that. So just be careful, be smart, and also be thankful that this thing is actually starting to die down. Now, the governor did say we will have to see what happens as it gets colder in the fall and the winter. There could be returns to some orders if we don't behave ourselves and people start getting sick again. So that key factor we're going to look at are ICU admissions. Well, that's really the key factor is ICU admissions. And those have been way down. So that's the important thing. So be safe, be careful. Thank a nurse today because you're running out of time, people. So find a nurse, go to a hospital and thank them right now. Thank a police officer and send cookies to the fire department. Even though I didn't talk about it, it is National Send Cookies to the Fire Department Week. So please join us. And Josue, I will share some with you if any do show up. So with that, back to you, Mr. Manager.
Thank you so much, Colin. And yes, thank you to the nurses, law enforcement for all that you have done to keep us safe through this pandemic and all you do. What's regular part of your commitment to your profession and to the communities in which you serve. So thank you. Colin, I would just like to add that, you know, I am fully vaccinated now. I had to wait for the 16-year-old and older group to get my vaccine, but I've got my vaccine now. So. Oh, two of them. So fully vaccinated in 2 weeks beyond.
Very good. Very good.
All right. Naomi, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I am here on behalf of Chief Carlson and the police department. And I have a couple announcements. Number one is Chief applied for a grant and we were awarded around, I believe it was 80 helmets. Of all different sizes, and we have some left over at the police department. So if anyone would be interested or you want one, they are free. You can have them. Just come down. We will size you, and hopefully we have one for everyone that comes. So we're excited about that. You do not need to make an appointment. Just show up at the dispatch center, and we'll take care of you. Also, the weather's getting nicer, and there's a lot more visitors coming into town. So I wanted to encourage everyone to lock your car doors and lock your homes when you're there and when you're not there. Remember that the police department, we do the house checks. So if you go out of town for more than, even if it's just 24 hours, let us know. We'll get some information from you, and we will keep an eye on your house. Officers, not only do they drive by, but they will walk around your house, the whole 9 yards. So lock your cars, lock your homes. If you need a house check, let us know. And remember that we've got the helmets, and everyone stay safe.
Thank you, Naomi.
Yep.
And now will we hear from Mayor Pam. Mayor, thank you for joining us.
As usual, Josue, it is my pleasure. I'm happy to be here. Oh, incoming. I'm starting tonight with a correction. A correction from something Chief Colin Altman said earlier. It sounds like the governor said tonight that in 3 weeks from tonight, which is May 12th, 3 weeks from tonight would be June 2nd, that those orders are going to be rescinded. So that's that's the latest correction from what I've heard. So we'll see and hope that that's true. 3 weeks out from tonight, which will give people plenty of time to get at least your first vaccination if you don't have it. And certainly maybe you can get both in by that time. You have 2 opportunities coming up in the village to do so fairly soon, like Monday. On Monday, May 17th, the Friends Care Center is going to be giving vaccinations. Walk-ins are welcome. You do not have to call and make an appointment. The time on that is 10 to noon, Monday, May 17th, 10 to noon, vaccinations, Friends Care. You'll have a second opportunity in the village at the John Bryan Center on June 2nd. That's the day that the 3 weeks of waiting will be up. You can come in on June 2nd to the John Bryan Center. We'll have stations set up probably in the gym, from what I've been told. We're not sure of the time yet, so watch the village website. It will be in the newspaper. The great guys from Channel 5 will have Philip will have a slide up on the village website and so forth with exact times and reminders of these things. We also want you to be aware that things are starting to happen, and they're starting to happen really quickly here. Tonight, I also wanted to tell you, when I opened the page today, to do a little screen share here, when I opened the page today on the Trusty Dayton Daily News, there were 3 articles of interest that all had to do with COVID. So I pulled those for tonight. The first one was, as Ohio nursing home cases drop, the rules for nursing homes are going to be easing up as well, for those of you who have friends or loved ones in the nursing home. So those things are starting to change. AAA, American Automobile Association, encourages early planning for those of you who wish to take a summer vacation, especially if it involves flying. Things are starting to book up, even traveling by car. You best be doing it now, because I know for a fact state parks are starting to fill up their reservations, as are some of the more popular tourist destinations around the nation as far as hotels and admittance into certain concessions and so forth. So start planning early if you haven't already for those summer vacations. And if you need advice on great places to go internationally, contact Chief Colin Altman, because as we all know by now, he's an expert at international locale. The third article I wanted to talk to you about, which probably is perhaps one of the more serious articles, starting May 23rd, those people receiving that $300 weekly stimulus check for unemployment must start showing proof of looking for work in order to receive those checks. I heard Rob Portman on the morning news today announce this. Our Senator Rob Portman said, quote, Some people are not looking for work because of these payments, unquote. Now, I know some of our economists and other folks say that's not necessarily true, but that's up for you to decide. And things are starting to happen. Articles are starting to show up. Things are changing as we, as promised, begin returning to normalcy or something sort of looking like that as we head into the summer and toward the fall and the next year. Dr. Fauci says we're going to have to be very careful because the next year will hold a lot of surprises. And as Josue mentioned and Chief Altman confirmed, if things begin to go south, these orders could always be put back in place, but we hope that won't happen. We hope the variants will be contained and figured out, and we can get on with our lives as per usual. I'd like to end my talk this evening after listening to Governor DeWine, who was pretty excited about the things he had to say tonight. I pulled 2 minutes out that I wanted to play with for you because I felt they were the most important 2 minutes of his broadcast. So listen tight, and he's going to give us some inspirational words to end this evening.
Each person now has access to a mighty weapon that they can use to get 100% protection. And it's now up to each Ohio citizen whether to use it or not. There comes a time when individual responsibility simply must take over. Ohio Department of Health Director Stephanie McLeod will remove all pandemic health orders except those for nursing homes and assisted living facilities, effective 3 weeks from today on June 2nd. This time will give anyone who has not been vaccinated time to get the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine or the first dose of Pfizer or Moderna and be well on the way to full immunity for themselves. Now, lifting these orders does not mean the virus is gone. It does not mean that we're all safe. Each Ohio citizen will make their own decision about wearing a mask, social distancing, how to protect themselves, and when for appropriate, and when for them, those actions are appropriate. Ohio businesses and schools as well will make their own decisions about how to best keep their customers, their employees, and their students safe. Lifting these health orders will not prevent a business from imposing its own requirements. In fact, based upon the experience of other states, we expect that many stores or businesses may require social distancing and may require masking. The number of Ohioans who get the vaccine will determine, frankly, what our future looks like.
Thank you, Governor DeWine. Well spoken and a good reminder of what we have ahead. So I invite you to consult the slides on our village website for those opportunities to get vaccinated on Monday, May 17th at Friends Care Center from 10 to noon, walk in, or within the village, probably in the gym at the John Bryan Center, time to be determined on June 2nd. Thanks to everyone for tuning in tonight. Stay safe, keep a smile on your face as we enter into what can be a blissfully awesome summer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pam. All right, we will now open the floor to for questions. And we have one question that has come in already, and that's regarding the no engine brake and no engine brake signs as traffic enters the village. So Eric, we did have a couple legislative things that needed to be done before we could put up any signs. And that's one, that the village had to pass an ordinance, which the council did. The Miami Township had to pass a resolution to allow us to put signs on township property so that motorists or truck drivers are properly noticed that no engine braking is allowed in the village. So that's been done. Signs have been ordered. So we're just waiting to get those signs and have them installed. So that's I expect that to happen soon in the next couple of weeks. And that's important for us in this time of the year because there's good weather and likely to have more of this noise pollution, the engine braking issue. So, Philip, any other questions? Okay. All right. Well, we don't have more questions. Okay. Well, I guess with that, we'll close out the virtual town hall. Chief, Naomi, Mayor Pam, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for tuning in, and keep doing what you're doing. Practice your physical distancing, mask wearing, hand washing, get that vaccine. So plenty of opportunities to get the vaccine. You don't have to drive down to Xenia or these other places. On Monday, you can get your vaccine right here in the village. So please, if you haven't had your vaccine, take advantage of those opportunities. With that, I want to wish you a good night. Thank you.